All right, what's up? Matt here from the Hicksey podcast. Matt, Dave. Today, we got Carter Amore as our guest. Carter, say hi to the people.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So, Carter, did you watch any of the playoff games this weekend?
I watched a little bit of the Chiefs game.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Patriots game. I watched the Saints-Eagles game. I didn't really watch the Cowboys game.
Yeah, there wasn't much that happened other than it was weird. It was weird that the Rams went with C.J. Anderson over Gurley for a lot of the game.
I saw how he had a lot of yards. Was he hurt?
No, he wasn't hurt, but they were just kind of just exchanging snaps, kind of like how Ingram and Kamara did it last year.
Yeah.
It was clean, and Anderson ran the ball really well.
He just signed at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, he had been bouncing off team to team, but that running attack that makes it dangerous because now, you're the Saints. You don't really know what to prepare for. It had typically been the passing game, off play action, but now now they have Anderson and Gurley running for 200 yards as a whole. It's pretty dangerous. Yeah, the Patriot game was kind of a disappointment, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
expecting the Patriots to win. I didn't think because I saw something on NFL Live about how they don't really have linebackers.
So the Chargers?
The Chargers just had safeties playing linebacker, especially against the Texans, and you can't do that against the Patriots because they're just pounding the ball, and that's what they did.
Yeah, they pounded the ball and they threw it to the running backs.
Sony Michel is a monster.
Guy was a beast. Over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. White out of the backfield caught 15 passes.
James White.
Yeah, White. Yeah. Dave, any comment on the Patriots?
I still hate them. Doesn't matter. I hope they don't. I'm honestly hoping they don't win go in the Super Bowl again because it will be 3 years in a row now. They've been in the Super Bowl picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it's another team because I've had it up to here with the Patriots. I can't stand them. Fucking hate them. So
as long as it's not the Eagles.
Oh, I mean, aren't they eliminated already?
Yeah, thank God. Hate the Eagles.
Oh, why?
Giants fan.
Oh.
And Mike Benavides, most annoying football fan.
What do you mean? Hey, come on. I thought he was. Did he? How long has he liked the Eagles?
I couldn't tell you.
Because I feel like for some odd reason, I feel like he started liking them recently when they won the Super Bowl. I'm not sure. I don't know, but
he said he was always an Eagles fan, but
I
he
don't
never really followed football.
I don't see that.
Big soccer guy growing up.
What?
He's from Bermuda.
Pussy. Soccer. Pussies. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I don't. I hope like I said, I hope the Patriots don't make it again because I can't. Getting tired of seeing them in the playoff game, the Super Bowl game every year. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, Hicks, it's terrible.
Pat Mahomes. It's you guys don't understand the pain I have to go through every single year, having to watch all the playoff games, having to sit there, stress about every single game. You guys, Giants fans. Oh, you know what? We'll get them next year. Us, it's either we win it. It's either Super Bowl or it's bust every year.
I'm an Alabama fan. I feel that.
Okay. Yeah. I can understand that. Yep. Another conference championship appearance. It's gonna be tough for them. For this year, they have not played very well on the road. 8
in a row, right?
8 in a row for conference championships. But this season, I don't know. It's really weird. The Patriots, I think they were undefeated. I think they were 8-0 at home, but they just were absolutely terrible on the road.
It's a bad place to play.
Yeah, Arrowhead too. It's gonna be really cold, which honestly, not nervous. Tom Brady does very well in the cold. He's done it before. But yeah, dude, that Mahomes kid is something else.
He had a game when it was cold last week. It was snowing.
Yeah, because I was watching. I don't really follow a lot of football, but I was watching a thing on NFL, and I saw them playing a game when the snow was at least 3 feet high, and they're playing football game in the snow. And they were functioning pretty well. I was like, holy cow, that's impressive, man. Because it's snow. I
hate snow.
Dude, what are you talking about? You talking about Pat Mahomes throwing in 3 feet of snow, or what game are you talking about?
I don't know what game, but I just saw them play, and I was like, oh.
I remember. It was the Bills. I forget who they were playing. It was in Buffalo. You're right, 3 feet of snow.
Oh, I think it was the Colts.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It was a 9-6 ball game.
Yeah, Tom Brady, he excels in the snow. Had the So we restarted our dynasty in the snow against the Raiders, the divisional game. Actually, yeah, the divisional game, home game against the Raiders. snowed. Tom Brady touchdown run. Adam Vinatieri field goal make in the snow.
What happened to him?
Adam Vinatieri, bro, had some bad misses last week. What is it, Dave?
I was gonna ask, like, okay, so like, what about those people, those guys who are like from states that they don't even know what snow is? All of a sudden they have to come play with like a team like
Play
up
in
here.
the snow.
Yeah,
Live in like California your whole life.
yeah. All of a sudden it's like, oh, let's play in the snow. Like, what do you feel? What goes on in your
You're in
mind?
Buffalo, New York.
Yeah,
10
right?
degrees Fahrenheit.
Like, what do you even do at that point? Like, I'd just lose it completely.
They can't perform well. Like,
Yeah,
especially if you've never like been in that weather before.
You definitely see it in like your yeah, you're right. They're not playing to like their full potential. They're letting balls that they could usually catch easily slide out of them. It's ridiculous, But like I said, I'm trying to think of that mentality because it sounds impossible,
If I ever had a game like that where it was like so freaking cold you couldn't really move.
Probably the worst was my freshman year JV game. We played at Watertown High School Saturday morning. The turf was frozen.
Oh, God.
It was like 5 degrees. It was week 4. It was crazy. It snowed the night before in the varsity game. Like, definitely the coldest game of the year. Made no sense. But like probably the worst experience I've had with snow was Bloomfield week. It snowed like the day before, and we had like it was like a legit foot of snow that we had to practice on because we couldn't practice inside.
The Seymour game is snowed too.
Yeah,
that hurt. That was like ice.
Yeah, that hurt. My face.
That hurt your face. We were up. We were broadcasting the game. We were up top, and the wind was blowing like right in our face. So as soon as the snow came, you got these ice pellets. That's right. We couldn't even commentate.
Those are one of the games where you just sit there and you're like, "That's gonna look sick on film."
Yeah, it looked cool. It looked cool on film. Yeah, I remember. I did the Dreams video, and then I'm doing one for Jason right now, and I rewatched all the film.
That was really cool.
The Dreams one, you like that?
Joe
was cool. That's good. That's good. At least someone liked it. But yeah, that was a cool thing to watch on film. That game and Ansonia game too. That was a great game. You guys played really good. Yeah,
very. I feel like if we had a shot to play them again, we would have beat them.
You think so?
I feel like we made too many mistakes. It was kind of like how we used to play back when we couldn't win a game. Mm-hmm. Just like special teams just couldn't get it done, and we just kept making the same mistakes on like every play.
Yeah, that's what I feel the same way, especially offensively. You guys would start getting a little momentum going. Tyler would make a nice pass, or Edit would go on a nice run, and then false start, holding. Yeah. Calling like chop blocks on the offense. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, and like we were very predictable the whole year. Mm-hmm. Like we'd change it up, and especially in the passing game, like we'd be able to do some like new stuff every game, but we can only run to the right side.
Yeah,
we can only run everything to the right, and when you play a team like that like can game plan for that, and has playmakers on every position on the
fast
field.
Linebackers too.
Oh yeah, they all hit too.
Oh yeah,
and they were smart because they got coaches that tell them just go here because it's gonna be this, and we couldn't run like our main plays on them.
Yeah, I feel like St. Paul that game too. That's the coach. The coach did a really good job of game planning for that game. Flooded everything to the right side, and luckily, I think maybe it was you, Joe, or Edit said something like they're flooding the right side. We have to run the other way.
Yeah,
made the adjustment.
Well, like the adjustment we made was on defense because they're a big triple option school.
Yep.
And so we came in thinking like they're just gonna run the triple option, but they must have known that it didn't work last year, so they just ran the same play like away from like where we thought the option strength would be, and they would just run the same play in like the C gap. So at halftime, I was tell Coach Moff, let's like do a front where we put a 3-tech out there and have a guard right there, and then we widen Joey out from outside the tackle to head up the tight end, and then they just ate up that play and they couldn't do anything else.
Yeah, that was one of the games where you watch the first half and you guys had just come off the big win against the Wolcott game. And St. Paul comes in, they score 3 quick touchdowns against you. I was like, well, maybe that Wolcott game was just a fluke game, but you guys battled back, and a lot of credit to you guys.
Well, we came out flat that game. Like we didn't come out flat because we scored a touchdown the first play of the game. But I feel like once that happened, we're like, oh, they're not good. We can beat them. And we just, like, we bailed them out too many times. We made too many mistakes in the first half, passing game, gave up big first downs and touchdown. So, like, we just beat ourselves.
Wait, making sure, was it a really close game? Right?
Yeah, that was the game we won by 1 point.
Because I remember we were late for some odd reason that day, and we came to do the film, and all the equipment obviously wasn't working like it usually does. So we're just out there, and I saw the score, and I was like that first half, I was like I kind of just gave up. I was like, it's not gonna, I guess we're not gonna win. So I was like, I kind of tuned out. Yeah, and then the second half, it was, I forget what the score was. It was like a 17, 20
22-7 at halftime.
Yeah, and then you came back and you guys scored a couple of, and then I was like, okay, I was getting into it slowly. All of a sudden, that's probably one of the loudest games to have been.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah, honestly, that was the loudest game because everyone was just hyped up. When you guys, when the kicker, I forget his name,
Angelo,
when he kicked that ball, dude, the place went berserk, man.
Yeah, watching film, like the last play when we win, it just got crazy.
Does that give you chills at all?
Yeah,
dude. I'd imagine it does.
That was probably the best moment.
Honestly, that was the closest.
That was crazy.
Dude, we all went home happy. Everyone was just happy the whole time.
It was perfect.
I actually remember rewatching the film, and I did get chills just like rewatching it because, especially the last play against St. Paul where he throws the fade to the right side toward the pylon and it gets incomplete, and then I don't know if Coach Moffitt did this on purpose, but he let the film go for like an extra 10 seconds.
That was
because
Dante.
It was Dante.
Dante Derulo.
I think he let it go for like an extra 10 seconds, and you could see all the fans because there was a whiteout. They're throwing powder, jumping up and down, celebrating. You could see everyone on the sideline celebrating. It was just really cool. Yeah, that was probably one of the best games of the year.
I was not a big fan of the powder because I was coughing half the time there. My lungs were dead. But like I said, it was a great game though. Honestly, it was a great game.
It was a good season.
That one, and then of course, I think another one that really stood out. Of course, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the Woolkit game. You guys kind of came out and you dominated for 4 quarters.
Well, it was close.
It was close at half. That's right.
At halftime, it was close because we made some mistakes on offense, and we gave up 2 touchdowns. I feel like we shouldn't have given up. They just ran the same play every time, and we really didn't know what we were doing wrong until we made adjustments at halftime.
Your credit, you had a lot of guys who were starting for the first time in varsity, my brother included.
Yeah.
I think Pete, that was the first time he had been playing varsity. So a lot of these guys in the offensive line really didn't know how to block. It was only week 3. So that was my main concern going in. It was like, these guys really don't know what they're doing, but second half rolls around, and you guys were basically unstoppable. Didn't give up any points defensively. You guys had a good momentum, especially Torrington shut them out. Wilby comes in, shuts them out. Woolkit comes, of course. They have they try to run that triple option. Look, what was their? That was weird. They kind of came out in that bunch formation. Why did they do that?
Well, they just I think they wanted to put our strength away from the side. They like to read. They did a lot of that to us my junior year, especially to the boundary. We'd literally just kick over. We'd kick our flat defender over to strong side linebacker, and then they just run stretch Q power the other way. And they weren't even reading it. Just Anligi took the ball every time. Yeah. It was nice, and he just made some plays. But we really didn't let him. It's very, very wet. That field was terrible.
I remember that. The field was very wet that game. And the center, too, for Woolkit had a few key mistakes in there. A few over snaps. I think they did it once on a punt, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we ended up blocking it.
You guys ended up blocking it, and then gave a short field for Reddit to run on.
Scored the next play.
Yep.
I was going to say, again, I probably said it to different people who have come on the podcast before, but, you guys definitely evolved from, the beginning to... Now, I know people are going to say that's because you guys got a lot more varsity time, but that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Your younger players should be, not they obviously shouldn't be taking over from the bigger guys, but they should be having more varsity time because, again, they're eventually going to have to take over. Yeah, take over, and then you guys definitely showed that this year. I mean, the previous season, but like I said, you guys, tremendous improvement. Now, I got a question for you really quick. What was your favorite game you played so far at the, the season. This season, you guys
This
played?
season, my
Yeah.
favorite game. Well, I don't know. It's a mix between Seymour, Woolkett, St. Paul. Honestly, Oxford was pretty fun, too. But, just based on like how good of a game it was, I'd have to say St. Paul. But like Woolkett was probably like the best feeling win, especially because we like beat them so bad. And then of course Seymour, because we haven't beaten them in a while also, and we got the helmet out of it. It was our senior night. So like they're all special, every one of them.
So Carter, playing inside linebacker, playing middle linebacker for 3 years. Typically, the middle linebacker, any NFL defense, that typically seems to be the captain of the defense. What certain responsibilities do you have that other players don't?
Well, I get the call from the sideline, and basically I gotta set the strength, and usually I gotta set the strength in the secondary too, depending on what checks we make, and I basically had to tell everybody what to do every play. Honestly, it was
definitely middle linebacker. It's one of those positions that basically the quarterback of the defense.
Yeah.
You get the call in. You got to get everyone in position.
Yeah.
Pretty stressful. Out of any of the middle linebackers that you see playing in the NFL, maybe in the college level, which one do you think you're the closest to? Like, what would you like base your game on?
That guy from LSU. What's his name? James White, not Devin White.
Yeah, Devin White. Yep.
I remember watching something about him, and there was like when he watches film, he'll like do a certain thing, and it was like a thing I did, and like, or he'll quiz himself on like what plays are gonna come, and I do the same thing. So I feel like preparation wise, like him, but I don't really like. I was never really big enough to like just like dominate people.
Yeah, it's
Like when you go to the NFL, those linebackers are monsters.
Mhm.
You don't have any finesse player linebackers.
no, they're fast too. They're just as fast as running backs.
Animals.
I remember reading something along the lines like Luke Kuechly back when he played with Boston College. He used to study so hard he would know the play. So he would yell at his defense. He's like, "Oh, run to the right, run to the right." So it's like flood the right side, and then they'd give up like 5 or 6 yards. He'd be like, "How the heck did you mess that up? I literally told you like exactly the play." Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's another thing too. They have to middle linebackers have to study just as hard as the
Anybody.
QBs, stuff like that.
Any position, honestly, should be that way. I always liked. I always wanted to know every single play by the snap of the ball, like exactly what it was, just by reading the guard and like the backfield action, and I got pretty good at it. It's pretty easy.
I was kind of during my short stint as a football player. That's kind of my one thing I commended you guys for, because I'm looking at this thing and it looks like Chinese like arithmetic to me. I didn't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
I saw doing the
X's and O's.
yeah. I'm like yeah, what is happening here?
Yeah.
But like I said, you guys were able to like people are like, yeah, you got to do this, you got to run back. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening right now. This is just. But like, I respect that a lot, honestly, because it's a lot of work. But you guys do a good job figuring all that stuff out.
We have great coaching. Great coaching. Oh, it's amazing.
Definitely.
They game plan for us so well, always. Especially since we got Anderson back.
Yeah.
That's just him and Mafo and everybody else. They're just all smart. Because everybody studies, and when you got like past players who come up, they were the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So like everybody can just like give wisdom on each other.
Yeah.
It's basically based upon what players listen to it most, and like, cause you have a responsibility for like everything, but like there's just simple stuff that you have to know how to do for like every play is different and like improvise on the spot, and it's really the ones who pick that up are the ones that really know what's going on.
Yeah, that's how you know that's you can differentiate between like them being like a good player and then like a great player.
Yeah, you got to be like very disciplined, very smart.
Yeah, like having Anderson, you said before, having Anderson definitely helped a lot, because Maffa could then focus on his defensive, because he's nasty at that.
Oh, it's amazing.
He's a god at that, and then Anderson is just, come on, he's Anderson.
Yeah.
So like that definitely helped a lot.
Yeah, because we always ran an offense that it was Coach Anderson's offense. He played it in high school. And Mafo, he's a great defensive coach. That's probably why I always would be considered a smart player. It's because he was a linebacker coach too. So I'd spend time with him every practice, and I just pick his mind. Just try to pick up everything I can.
Now, Carter, I got a question. A lot of the guys, Jason, Joe, Eddie, tell me you're the best trash talker on the team. What was one line that you would kind of go back to? Was there a line, or and then like if not, like what was probably like your best quote that you think you said?
Well, I never really liked being like a scoreboard. I hate people who do that. Yeah. But I call people ugly a lot. But my best story was my sophomore year. We were playing Seymour, and I picked off Jalen Kelly with like probably 6 minutes left in the game, already down like 50 to like 12. And I go, Jalen. I'm yelling his name, Jalen. And when he turns around, I go, here's your ball back. I whip it. It goes over his head into the Seymour like sideline, and I got like a personal foul.
Nice.
That was probably like the best one. But yeah, just telling everybody that they're not good.
Yeah, telling everybody like
just putting them down. They get 3 yards, be like, you got lucky that time. You hit them behind the backfield, like I'm gonna meet you here again next play. Just gotta like piss them off. Get them out
I got
of the
you.
game.
And you think that helped? You think that got them off their game a little bit?
I don't know if I'd say I was the best trash talker.
Like who was the best then?
Joe Shea gets
Joe Shea?
Joe Shea
Joe
gets
Shea
into
says it was
it.
you. Joe Shea was like, nah, it was all Carter.
This year, maybe. But last year, like this guy, we've been passing league. He's getting in everybody's face
I do
every
remember
play.
that. Going to the passing leagues at Joe Shea. They're not wearing any pads or any helmets.
He's
Joe's
pushing
just, like,
kids.
butting heads with people.
Yeah, it's crazy. He was a monster.
Yeah, but it just goes to show. I mean, you guys had a lot of passion on the field, showed,
Definitely.
and I think that by the end of the season, the results were on right there. You guys went to the state champion or state playoffs.
Yeah.
Came short against Bloomfield, but they ended up winning it all. So there's nothing wrong with that.
They're just too, like all the receivers were 6'4".
Goodness, it's the first thing I noticed was like these guys are huge.
And they just threw it out to them, be like, tackle us. We couldn't really do anything.
If you had to like play that game, if you had to play that game again, are there some things you could like obviously not change, but are there some things you could do that could improve the chances of winning that game if you could play it again, like with the current knowledge you have now?
Well, I feel like we definitely could have game planned more for like the quick passing game, because we definitely just like tried to shut down the run because their their running back is an animal.
You guys did a good job of doing that, by the way. That running back was really good. He gashed Ansonia.
Oh, he's disgusting. He had like, I want to say he had 3,000 yards this year, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
And then they had a quarterback who was getting looked at by colleges too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was not a weak link on that team. And the problem was, in my opinion, looking back at the game, I mean, you had to have the corners at least 10 yards back, or else they just would have gotten burned every play.
Yeah, and then they just throw quick screens,
and then they would
flashes.
Just juke the poor cornerbacks out of their shoes.
Yeah, teams like that, you can only beat them by having more athleticism than
exactly.
Them. You can't like, let's say you're playing a team like Ansonia, they're not like, oh, we're more athletic than you, like to a point, but it's not just like they don't just key in on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll still do like plays where like you can beat it strategically, and I think that's why we fared a lot better against them, because like spread schools like that, you really just need to like be able to match them, especially in like the secondary with the wide receivers.
Did you say athleticism could is like in a situation like that? You say athleticism would be better, or would it? I feel like, in my opinion, if you had more like game knowledge, or like, I don't know, be able to capitalize on their mistakes, that would probably help you more.
I think you could be the best. You can have like the best. Like I think I have a pretty decent mind for the game. But if you threw me out there and had me go play safety, and these guys would run right by me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think there has to be a level. Like I think eventually there's a point. Like Ansonia, they were athletic, but they weren't to the athleticism, to the like Woodland could match with them. Bloomfield was on a whole nother level of athleticism. They just couldn't catch up.
It was crazy. It was just like we'd have people out there tackling them 5'5", 150, and they're all 6'4", 200 pounds.
Eventually, I think, Dave, to answer your question, I think athleticism, it catches up.
It depends on. Excuse me. It depends on what type of team you're playing, especially a team like Bloomfield, where they're just like they do the same play every time, and they're just like, beat us. We're more athletic than you, beat us.
So it's nothing you could use like maybe like your game experience or knowledge or some sort to like overcome them. It's just pure athleticism.
You certainly could, but like they're just like, it comes a point where there's just mismatches that you can't overcome. and I think that was mainly our problem.
You think time and preparation would have like helped a little bit more, or?
Well, yeah.
Definitely. Okay.
We had like a week of practice. I don't even think we were in pads the entire week because we were banged up after the Seymour game, like bad.
Yeah, that was another thing. I feel like towards the end of the season, especially, and I think it affected Tyler the most. Him losing Marks as his number one receiver. You can see he was throwing it more to Jason Palmieri, who did a very good job, I think, of filling in. But I feel like having both of them on the field at the same time definitely opened things up for Tyler.
We limped into the playoffs. We left it all out there the last 3 games of the year.
You guys played phenomenal. I mean, looking back, you can't be disappointed in that, right?
No. I never expected that either.
I don't think anyone did.
You told me 9-1 record. You told me that last year. You told me that beginning of the year.
I remember Jason he made the group chat. I think it was for on Snapchat, and it was said like NVL champs.
It was 2018 state champs.
Yeah, I looked at that and I laughed at it. But now, kind of looking back, you're like, man, they weren't that far away.
Well, nobody on the team expected our O-line to step up, and like I was surprised. Like the thing that really helped was it's like the league's just not as big as it used to be. Like you look at our line, I'm like, wow, we're not that big. But you go against teams, and every single guy in your line is like bigger than any of them.
Yeah.
But I think Anderson helped, and I think having guys like Shea and Hassan really help out the other guys.
You too, man. I mean, the years of experience, I think that definitely would help you guys.
Definitely.
And another thing is, Maffa's a great weightlifting coach. Get you guys in there, get you guys lifting, get you guys big. Jason went from I think when he started playing football his junior year, I'm going to say he was about 150. We measured him up yesterday. He's like 185 right now.
Yeah.
He's bulked all up in muscle.
Big difference. Yeah. We were good at that. We broke the school record going in, but a lot of that was because of like foreign arts and Comets, you know? Like we had a lot of seniors that were on the weightlifting team that couldn't play football the next year. Yeah. So we were concerned.
But like I said, I mean, you guys were always one of the best teams for lifting with the lifting academy. So, I guess so. You guys get some big. You want to wrap it? All right. Well, Carter, gonna say thanks. Thanks for coming on. It was good talking.
Good time. I would definitely like to come back on again.
Oh, for sure.
If you'd have me.
Did anything to say?
Like I said, kind of on short notice, and I know you have to go to work soon. But we'll definitely like to have you again because I mean you're a fun guy to talk to.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate it.
We go into details of more cooler stories, man.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Thanks for listening. Subscribe. Keep supporting us. We appreciate all the support we've had so far. And again, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. That way you know when every single podcast comes out. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Nick.